Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Debbie Hayes, and this is World of Pets podcast. You know, we always want our pets to live as long as possible, but we also want them to live as healthy as possible. So we feel that we found something that can facilitate that. But really, what we want to do here at World of Pets podcast is discover everything about our pets. So we can laugh, we can cry, and just enjoy our pets. So very quickly, debspets.com is one of our sponsors, and we do promote immune support for pets and for humans, and especially for pets with the use of the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. So a little bit later, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but here we go. So today we're doing something a little bit unusual. I was searching Facebook a few months ago. I guess it was actually 2 months ago today that the hurricane hit in Western North Carolina, Florida, etc., Georgia. And so I was looking at that, and I was noticing that there were some cases where dogs were playing an instrumental role. So I wanted to put together, and it's just things that I took screenshots of from Facebook, but I wanted to share a little bit about what some of these pets are doing and what some of these people are doing to help with the pets. So the first one actually is more in honor of Veterans Day yesterday. I just love this. This is somebody from the South Shore in Massachusetts, a police department. Obviously, you can tell Greg's uniform. And Eamon is the dog. And as you can see, Eamon has been trained to salute his trainer, Greg. So here they are in honor of Veterans Day. So moving on to the flood, this particular picture is in Western North Carolina, and Tucker the dog is pictured there. What happened is the two children, you can see the daughter or the sister in the background there, were with their grandparents. And the grandparents and the sister were all accounted for, and Tucker was not. Tucker's the dog. And the son was not accounted for, the grandson. So Tucker, being the loyal dog, and apparently he and the boy here are just fast friends and together all the time. And he actually located the boy, who was about under 10 feet or so of rubble from when the house went down, and led the rescuers over there and stayed with them until they were able to get his buddy out from under the rubble. So kudos to Tucker. Obviously, he's not the only one that has done that type of thing, but he is definitely a hero, and especially with that family. And the son was hurt pretty badly, or his buddy there was hurt pretty badly, had to go to the hospital. One of the nurses actually volunteered to take care of Tucker. They found some housing for the grandparents and for the sister, and had a very good celebration when the son was able to get out of the hospital. So moving on, this is just a little funny one, I thought. Hurricane Helene is not coming to New Jersey, but the dog here insists that she needed to be prepared. So there she is, I guess, in her owner's, office dog, the office dog wiki. So maybe it's at the office. And no matter how hard they tried to tell her, she wanted to be dressed in case the hurricane came to them. So, all right, this next one, really unusual, I thought. And at the bottom of the picture, you can see the little snouts sticking up of these 3 dogs. And they are leading those cattle who were, I guess, not knowing what to do with themselves when the hurricane came. But the dogs herded them up and are bringing them to safety after the hurricane was over. So pretty, as it says, pretty amazing. And especially 3 dogs. I don't know if there are any dogs in the rear there or not, because there's so many cattle you can't tell. But, oh, I'm sorry, there's 4th dog over there on the left. So 4 dogs and maybe some in the back. But they are leading those cattle, and the cattle are trusting them, obviously. They're all moving along there. So the next one is a little bit different focus. This is a trauma response facility, dog handlers. And what they're doing is looking for dogs who are left after Helene. I've got another story to tell about dogs being left later on that doesn't have to do with the hurricanes, but we do feel that our dogs are part of our family. But in the confusion of and I can't even imagine really what it would be like if you're on your porch and the water's rising and you don't know if it's going to come and sweep you away. In some instances, I know that the water did come up on the porch, up on the roof, and sweep one family member away while a couple of other family members were there watching, which obviously would be horrible. But if they were not able to do anything about their dogs at the time or other pets, then there are rescues who are there to help those animals. And this trauma response facility is one of those. So they're actually taking the dogs, then in this case from Florida, not from North Carolina. And this is Hurricane Milton, the second of the 2 hurricanes. So they are taking them someplace where hopefully they will be rescued and get a new forever family. So kudos to them. And if you are looking for pets and you are so inclined, then Mission Health is one of those facilities. And I'm sure that they have pets that they would be willing to help you with. So the following photograph is taken by a photographer. And believe it or not, this dog is trained and is on that line. And he is going to rescue someone out of that river. I'm sorry that they don't have another shot, which would show more of exactly what he is doing, but you do get the picture right there that I don't know that I would feel comfortable in that particular situation on a zip line like that. So the dog is definitely brave, amazing canines, and this dog actually is from Virginia Department of Emergency Management. So they are down there because it did happen in Bat Cave, North Carolina. And if you've seen the pictures and noticed any of the names of the towns, Bat Cave is one that took a horrible hit from the hurricane. So kudos to this dog. That the dog's name is Kyra. Kudos to Kyra that Kyra was able to be trained to go out on that zip line and rescue someone. Somebody else or another organization that helps in these types of situations is True Rescue out of Phoenix, Maryland, and that is TRU and then RESCUE.org. So if you are, again, looking for a pet who would have been displaced, this one from Hurricane Helene, even if you could take the pet temporarily or as a foster, or I'm assuming that they do adoptions as well. And they do, if you're fostering, give you all the supplies and all the vet bills are paid. So not only for this particular hurricane, but if there are other catastrophes on the East Coast weather-wise that would logically leave pets out there by themselves, you might make note of truerescue.org, and it is TRURESCUE.org. Another group of dogs who we're helping out is a group of search dogs who are actually trained in Southern California and were deployed to go help with the rescue efforts in Hurricane Helene. So these dogs come from Ventura County near LA, and they do deploy for international disasters. So again, kudos to these pets. I'm sorry that we only have a picture that tells about them and not the actual pets. So of course, my little humor gets in the way here of information. And if your dog poops, pick it up, please. So this fella did, and no easy venture there with his German Shepherd in his arms, I'm sure. And then last, all dogs are emotional support dogs. And isn't that true? If you have a pet, even cats, I pet sit, and cats can be, they're not always, but they can be very friendly and very affectionate animals as well. So we all know about the pet squirrel who got euthanized in New York, and how he was very popular. What they say, he had 1 million followers or something like that on social media because he had been a pet squirrel for 7 years. So whatever kind of animal that you have, we want you to give them the best. So just a little bit more about what I do. As I said, I mentioned the medicinal mushrooms, and we also have healthy pet food and so forth. And I was looking for something where I could get the word out about the medicinal mushrooms, because mushrooms are a big buzzword these days. And so I did find something called The Great Discovery, which is a content creators platform. So I do have a free content on there that tells about the medicinal mushrooms, if you're looking for them, what you should avoid, what you should look for. And that is just general. And then I do have a paid course, if you dig deep in your pockets, for $4.99, which talks about the Coriolis versicolor mushrooms, which is a mushroom that has been around for about 2,500 years. Actually, first recorded history of it was found in a vial in King Tut's tomb. But that being in Egypt, I will say that the most potent of that specific type of mushroom is found in Japan and in China. But it does grow in other places in the world. And that $4.99 course does tell a lot about that mushroom, about what makes it called the king of mushrooms. So I said I was going to tell another story that was not related to the hurricanes, but it is related to pets who have been abandoned. And there is a fella named Dave who does walks for a variety of different causes. And recently the he went to the Ukraine to do a walk for peace. Now, he personally has had a lot of success with the mushrooms for humans. So he wanted to take some mushrooms for dogs to the Ukraine. And the significance of that, when you think about it, I mean, the same thing as what I was mentioning in the hurricanes. I mean, things are just going crazy. People, yes, they love their pets so much, but they might forget about their pets if they're seeing a loved one get swept away in the flood, or wondering if the water's going to come up and wash them away off their front porch, etc. So when you think about the Ukraine, it's been over a year now that they've been in a war. And are you going to always think about your pets when you have bombs going off all around you? I mean, yes, there will be some people that will, and there might be some people that won't. I don't think they can be criticized in that situation. But anyway, so Dave took these, the products with the mushrooms over because of the situation there. There are a lot of pet rescues. And so so he had products to give to these people to try in the pet rescues. I mean, you can imagine PTSD, pet style, would be rampant with all of those bombs going off, all of the noise that's created by a war. So the people were so excited that they actually became customers, even over in the Ukraine. So I thought that was a good situation. I don't have any specific things. I will tell you that that they can be calmed down with some of the products from things like PTSD that would be equivalent to person's PTSD. And thunderstorms. I know my particular dog gets very, very antsy for the thunderstorm. So this product is really good for any kind of anxiety that the animal has. And apparently, as I said, is working great with the dogs in the Ukraine. So kudos to the company for coming out with something that can deal with something like that. So our other sponsor is the World of Ability Pet podcast, or I'm sorry, the World of Ability podcast. And it was started because a lot of people think, okay, people that have disabilities don't really have much to offer. But the World of Ability is just a reminder that people who do have disabilities do have things to offer. And there are several different podcasts that are sponsored by World of Ability Podcast Network throughout the week. Even in exercise, 7 days a week, you can get on there and do some pretty mild exercises. Most people can do them. I do them sitting down and for 15 minutes and give you a little bit of exercise, and then they follow it up with some fun facts about what musicians have a birthday that day, and what day it is. You know, I always bring up chocolate. It's National Chocolate Day today or whatever. A lot of different, but there's a fellow on there that informs us on what we are missing out or what we should be celebrating that day and what people we should be celebrating that day. So just one example of what the World of Ability Podcast Network sponsors. So a little bit shorter this week than usual, but come and visit us next week. And the following week, I apologize. I can't remember what we're doing next week. But the following week, we're going to have a gal on who is a dog trainer and works in a variety of styles with training the dog. So she will be here 2 weeks from tonight. And then next week, you'll have to be surprised because I didn't bring my notes with me. Thank you for joining us.